Hello everyone. Today let's talk about the difference between a PoE switch and an Ethernet switch. So PoE switch is a device which helps us transmit data and connect two devices together, let them communicate. And the Ethernet switch does the same, although the PoE switch has the extra feature of transmitting power as with the data. So the PoE switch has PoE technology, which will transmit power and data with one Ethernet cable, and the Ethernet switch usually is only for data transmitting. So you can see that behind here, they all have Ethernet ports. Ethernet ports let them use connecting devices with Ethernet cables. And now this is what they are similar in. Now let's take a look at their differences. So first of all, usually when we talk about their differences, we talk about power, and then later we're going to talk about the installation and the safety and security. So when we talk about the power supply, you can see that right here, the front panel here has 4 Ethernet ports, which is for uplink and data transmission or PoE signal transmission. When we go to the back right here, you can see there is an AC outlet where we connect it with our alternating current. So right here, when we connect it here, we use one of these and connect it to our alternating current. And this will have the power up the whole device. And there's a power supply within, so then it will have the ability to transmit power to edge devices connected to it. And since this one is just a normal device for the Ethernet exchanging, for data exchanging, communications, this one doesn't require that much power, so we can power it with just a 12 volts DC adapter, like right here. You see right here, this is a DC adapter right here. You can connect it right here, and this is powered up. So these two devices, they power up differently. Mostly it's because the PoE switch requires more power to power up other devices connected to it. That's pretty much it for about the power. Now let's take a look at the safety and security. Well, the PoE switch has a ground link spot, so we can connect it to a ground link point, and that's safe for our touching because of the metal casing sometimes can conduct electricity. And once we plug it to our alternating current, the other operations in the front panel, like attaching Ethernet cords to it, is really safe because the PoE standard voltage is around 48 to 55 watts, and that voltage is really safe for human contact, but I don't recommend you guys trying contacting it. And as for the Ethernet switch powers up on the 12 volt DC adapter, so the whole thing is pretty safe, and mostly of them are plastic in material, so also there's not much of a chance of accidentally conducting electricity. And that's about the safety and security. And then let's talk about how we usually install them. Well, for those who have experience of installing or setting up networks at their homes, we use these Ethernet switches most often. We can put it anywhere near our network outlet where we connect to our main network. And usually we put this somewhere where we can receive a signal, and the reception is good as well, all around the house. So this is mostly used to find a good spot for Wi-Fi signals, for outspreading Wi-Fi signals. And as for the PoE switch is mostly used on the main center of a network system. This one doesn't have like outputting wireless signals. We mostly use Ethernet cords, so it stays at the central, and then it really outputs power and data to all directions, however you spread the Ethernet cables. And they both are easy to set up because all we have to do is easy plug and display. Just one Ethernet cable, and we connect it to other devices. Not much difficult. Although we are going to introduce one more device today. This is a PoE Powered Switch in my hand. What is so special about this switch is it can act as both a sourcing equipment to provide power, and also it acts as a power device that receives PoE signals. PoE Powered Switch. The PoE says it makes it allowed to be connecting with other PoE devices. Imagine we connect this PoE switch with this PoE Powered Switch. The PoE switch right here will provide us power and data and goes to this PoE Powered Switch. And this PoE Powered Switch will receive the power and data, take a portion of it and power itself up, then release and output all the power and data to the other devices connected to all the other ports. And usually it can be acting as a remote PoE switch in the outside field, so it's really convenient as well. You can choose to use an extra power cord to power it up, but when we use PoE, we were wishing for it to be more convenient and easy, so we just connect it with Ethernet cable and use PoE to power it up. A tip for you though is that when we use PoE to power it up, all the power and data always have to go to port number 8, because port number 8 has the module of receiving the PoE and then powering itself up. The other ports will not recognize the signal. So always remember port number 8 is the port to connect with our main network and data source. And then the other 7 ports connect it with whatever you want. Alright, that's pretty much it for today. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them at the section below. Thank you guys for your time. I'll see you guys again next time. Goodbye.